After the game, I think there was 3 reporters, female reporters, in the locker room asking questions.
One of who had a domestic violence awareness bracelet on.
So they were interviewing players and asked about Osuna giving up the runs. And a assistant general manager with the Astros, Jen, do you have his name?
No.
I don't have it in front of me right now.
Taubman, I think.
Yeah, that's right. Taubman?
Yeah.
Taubman.
Taubman.
Assistant
Brandon
GM.
Taubman.
He comes in yelling over and over and over again. To these 3 women, these 3 female reporters. I'm so glad we got Osuna. I'm so fucking glad we got Osuna. And he wouldn't stop doing it. It was so bad that another executive that was there immediately apologized to the women. Had to apologize to them. Well,
God.
The Sports Illustrated, the writer that was there, that this was directed to, wrote a report on it. And has since... Well, after the report came out and Astros getting a lot of flack, the Astros put out a statement. And here's the statement. The story posted by Sports Illustrated is misleading and completely irresponsible. An Astros player was being asked questions about a difficult outing. Our executive was supporting the player during a difficult time. You just won the ALCS, by the way. This is not a fucking difficult time. His comments had everything to do with about the game situation that just occurred and nothing else. They were also not directed towards specific reporters. We are extremely disappointed in Sports Illustrated's attempt to fabricate a story where one does not exist. Here's the problem.
No. I appreciate your opinion, and I'm sure you got one. It's different coming from a female perspective. Because while you guys can have opinions on this, this is an opinion I live. This is an opinion that women everywhere live. Women who work in sports are subject to this all the time.
Yeah, can't imagine.
They're subject to death threats, not only from fans, but within the sport world itself, okay? Our jobs are constantly at risk. We're constantly being made to feel like we don't belong there. So a statement like this being made, it just doubles down on this. They're essentially gaslighting female employees that are just trying to do their job. They are gaslighting any woman who has ever been a victim of domestic violence by putting out a statement like that.
And this gets even worse because immediately after the Astros put out this statement, about 4 other reporters that were there with firsthand accounts from rivaling companies corroborated the story, saying, no, this is literally what happened. So, and people are going off on this statement right here, going are you fucking kidding me? Even one person even responded to that initial statement that was put out is I'm the CEO of a damage control company. I'm going to tell you right now, even if your statement is accurate, this is a really bad statement to put out.
Yeah. Who's their PR people in Houston? It's incredibly tone deaf.
So to say the least, Astros, fuck you for getting Osuna, and fuck you for this statement. And I desperately hope you get your asses kicked in this World Series.
Jesus,
because this is so fucking tone deaf. I have friends on the Astros too. Sorry, boys. I hope you lose.
I just don't think people understand what it's like to be a woman and to see things like this written. Because so many women have had brushes with domestic violence. And a lot of them are too scared to come forward, or they'll still stay in it. And people will always they'll never understand why women want to stay in a relationship like that. And it's because they just don't know any better. For me, though, I have an issue with this because MLB, like you said, has always acted like they were taking the high road.
Oh yeah, they tried to, but they're very reactive, and it's usually reactive in the nature of another sport fucking up.
Yeah, but here's the thing: they're the one fucking up now. Major League Baseball should be taking a stance against this and not condoning it or turning a blind eye, and that's essentially what they're doing by allowing this statement by the Astros to sit out there. Because now, by you not making a statement, you're saying, okay, we agree with them.
Yeah. Your silence is compliance.
It's the same thing they did with steroid abusers, only then the victim is the person taking the steroids and not a third party.
Yeah.
We're just going to turn a blind eye as long as there's success. I'm sorry, women's safety and women's issues and social issues don't take a back seat to rings. They never should have. And then you can't get mad at us for being mad at you. You don't get to tell us when we have to forgive them.
Yeah, that always
That's
drives me
all
nuts.
that kills me.
That drives me nuts.
Oh, well, can't we just move on? No, we don't have to move on. Cody left Chipotle in my car last week for 4 days. You think I've moved on from that? No, I'm still pissed.
What do you keep doing to her car, man?
And I'm going to remind him
Stop
about
fucking
it.
up her car.
But
I didn't
regardless,
leave Chipotle in her thing.
there was definitely Chipotle in my backseat that sat there for 4 days. But I digress. Okay, so like, look. I have to bring some kind of levity to this or I'll get really upset.
Did I do that?
After the trade,
Yes, you did.
the Astros, they made gestures to like demonstrate how seriously they took this whole domestic violence reference. They referenced a statement to their zero tolerance policy, like Cody said, and they donated $215,000 to various shelters, and they hung flyers with hotline numbers at every restroom in Minute Maid Park, saying that this was their way, signing Osuna was a way of bringing awareness, and that they hoped people would see it as giving a person a second chance that deserved it.
Fuck.
Why does he
Why
deserve
it?
it? What the fuck?
That they would turn this negative into a positive.
Go. Yeah, it's really going positive.
You don't deserve a second.
You don't
chance.
understand. Every time I watch, I like kind of root for the Astros. Every time I see him take the mound, I immediately go like, ugh, I can't root for these.
Here's
fucking
my
guys.
thing: $214,000 isn't even half of the major league minimum. That's what you're telling me I'm worth?
Not just you.
That is
all,
what
all
women, any woman that's ever had any kind of domestic violence against her, that's what we're worth to you?
It's a payoff.
We make up how much of your fandom? That's all we're worth. I will say this to any woman listening, that if you've ever been in this type of situation, you are worth more than that. You're worth more than a ring. You're worth more than $215,000. And shame on you, Major League Baseball, and shame on you, Houston Astros, for not taking a stronger stance against this. It's disgusting. I just cannot believe that at the end of the day, if the Astros win, we're going to celebrate this piece of shit.
Yeah, and they will.
Oh, they 100% will.
They will.
Meanwhile, some woman's life is forever changed because of him.
Yeah.
And not for the better.
And currently with a restraining order, living in fear of him.
I'm so grateful and so lucky that I have a husband who understands these social issues and how important they are and would never raise a hand to me. But I realize that I am probably in the minority out there. And it's not to say that my previous experiences in previous relationships were that lucky, because they weren't. And a lot of women out there are facing that every single day.
Yeah.
But this is disgusting. I expect this shit from the NFL. I don't expect it from Major League Baseball. You say that you hold yourself to such a high standard, fix this. Otherwise, I don't give a shit who wins this World Series, because as far as I'm concerned, we all lost. The minute that this statement was put out by the Astros, we all lost. Humanity lost. At me, Astros. Let's talk about this. So
Yeah.
pissed. Sorry, guys.
No,
No?
you're right. It's fucking baffling. It's maddening.
It's just so easy for male pundits to sit there and weigh in on it, when the fact of the matter is, the greater majority of people that are facing domestic violence are women.
Oh, and Taubman, by the way, the assistant GM who did this, I can't stress. Oh, basically, based on all how this all went down, I would be almost shocked if the Astros didn't punish the executive that actually apologized for Taubman's stupid ass words. Taubman, you're the worst fucking person in baseball. You're the type of guy who never picked up a bat, a glove, or a ball, but you walk around with the fucking arrogance of someone that knows it all. Fuck you. And honestly, Astros, fuck you.
This is just so frustrating. It's so frustrating that this is where we are in 2019.
I know.
Every time I think we're going to like turn a corner with like social awareness and like getting rid of that toxic masculinity, which I know is just it's a catchphrase that people get mad about, that even people use it. They use it because it's real. It's a real hindrance to society moving forward and us becoming better people. Unfortunately, in the tone of today's society, people don't like that term being used, because odds are they're perpetrators of it. Odds are they're okay with it. They're okay with women not being seen as equals. because that's the mentality that half the United States is living in right now. I choose to not live there. And I really hope Major League Baseball does the right thing, because you're on a national stage now. You're in the middle of, you're getting ready to start your World Series. This is your chance to stand for something. And if you don't stand for this, you stand for nothing.
And Astros, you have, up until this World Series start, basically you have an opportunity to do something about this and fix this situation, or you can stand pat on your fucking bullshit statement, which is, I don't know, tantamount to basically supporting domestic violence. So, fucking do something. You got a World Series game tonight, and this story will not go away. I promise you that. Right now, I have not seen a single story talking about the World Series today, and all they're talking about is this story. And it's game 1 of the fucking World Series. And no one's talking about it. Because
like I said,
of what you did.
This is the same thing they did when it came to the steroid era. This is like so many guys that got popped. Not necessarily in the steroid era, because a lot of those guys obviously have retired. I'm talking about in just previous years, when obviously the whole thing happened in Miami, where a lot of people got popped on those lists, the biogenesis list.
The biogenesis list.
Those guys are still playing.
Most of them.
Of course they are.
We're just going to ignore all of that. We're going to pretend it never happened. They'll get slapped on the wrist. They'll do their time, maybe miss a few games here and there. But no one really felt the impact of that.
The status quo is easy to keep, and they make their money that way, and it's easier to leave things the way they are, take the immediate heat, and in the long run, just like, well, this wheel will keep turning, and it doesn't matter.
You don't get to hurt women. You don't get to hurt other people and get to play a game for a living.
I agree.
It's a privilege.
I absolutely
agree. It is a
agree.
privilege to be able to get to do what you love every single day. You know, a
But-
lot of people, and even in media, they get to argue like, oh, freedom of speech, blah, blah, blah. Freedom of speech, yeah, that's my privilege. And it's my privilege to come here every single day and to voice my opinions about stuff. But if I do something dumb, we're going to all be held accountable for it.
There's consequence. There should be consequence for everything.
We're going to be held accountable for it, just like any other normal person would be at their job.
Yeah.
If Bob, working down at Walmart, beats the crap out of his wife and Walmart finds out about it, Bob should get fired.
Yeah.
You know, my mom has worked in the school district. If she notices that kids are being abused at home, it is her legal responsibility to alert people that something is going on.
Yeah.
Because it's the whole idea is to protect people that cannot protect themselves. And Major League Baseball is doing a huge disservice by allowing someone that clearly doesn't understand those rules to represent them on the biggest stage humanly possible, like the World Series.